work fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put in the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Pittsburgh. Whip. Watch the whip.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. A huge play there right off the bat. 41 yards.
Well, partner, it's pretty simple. One thing you don't want to see defensively, on the very first snap of the game, some guy running free like we just saw there.
Heck of a start for this offense, no doubt. A quick throw out to Hardman on the perimeter. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We call that sack block.
They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect.
Go. Get ready.
Now Newton on first down. His throw incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. That'll bring up second down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Newton. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Eckler. Now, despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Quick hitter here. It's complete. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Running on first down, Eckler. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. To throw on second down. Cannon. This is caught by Robinson. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. On 1st and 10, Cannon. He's going to float this one deep. Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
On second and a couple, Newton, and the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. 7 yards there and a first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
Now Rashad Penny. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Newton now to throw. Airing one, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And his throw here's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. From the gun on 3rd down, Cannon. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Let's get off the field. 45. Great. All day, every day, any day.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go. Watch twins. Check. Slam.
Penny, a first down carry. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
That's taken in by Callaway. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cannon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Shaq Lawson's one of those guys that after a while you quit just trying to define him by a position. Defensive end, outside linebacker, doesn't matter. He knows how to get upfield and spill some plays.
So disruptive. What makes him so disruptive?
I think it's strength. If you see his upper body, I mean, he's got some strength up there and some really good hands, but he's got some surprising quickness as well to get him upfield.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. They'll begin with much more advantageous starting field position than they did on their last drive as they come up here 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Newton. Going up top for Cup. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And an alley to run. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Cannon, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quan Alexander in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Switch.
Operating from the gun, Cannon. And he's going to go down again. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
20.
Throwing again. Newton. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. On 1st down, Cannon. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Draw play, it's Eckler. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. From the gun, Cannon. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
Ready? 20.
So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. It is the final weekend of the regular season, final day of the calendar year as well. A lot of action to update you on, so let's get right to it.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll try the right side here with Penny. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This defense tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now a first down throw for Newton. And this is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Penny. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Let's go.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 47 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big gain.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Austin Eckler with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Mike, 51. Drop deep. 51.
To throw again. Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Cooper Kupp was his intended target. And it's 3rd down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run here with Eckler. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Right there, 56.
Throwing on 1st down. Cannon. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. It's Eckler again. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
From the gun on 3rd down. Cannon. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Mecole Hardman. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed very quickly at the end. They'll get this out wide to Boyd. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 35-yard line. They'll run with Penny here out of the shotgun. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down. On 1st and 10, Newton. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Check 52.
Greg.
Out of the gun, Newton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. And sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball. Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He'll get this to Eckler, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now it's Penny, and he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
After the sack on 1st down, Newton, and that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Gun. Get him.
3rd and long, it's Newton. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Newton. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
Automatic 1st down.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Cannon. This will be caught at about the 5. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Say, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Tackle. Check. Here it goes. Rush in.
Penny. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. From the 44, Newton. And he will find his man on the outside.
Let's go. Ready? check right 45. 20. He's crashing. He's checking crash. 20.
Play action. It's Newton. Bill Dyson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing on 2nd and long. Newton under pressure again, and down he goes again. Chris Jones, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Hey, 4 down. Let's go.
On the ground, it's Eckler. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about an on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus. and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for Kansas City.